Have you ever stopped to think about what really hides behind Johnny Depp's charming smile and those quirky, unforgettable characters he brings to life? It's easy to think we know him. After all, we've grown up watching him on screen. We've laughed with him, felt his pain through his roles, admired his wild, rebellious spirit. He's been Captain Jack Sparrow, the eccentric pirate who somehow always sails away unscathed. He's been Edward Scissorhands, so tender and strange that we almost wanted to hug him through the screen. He's been Willy Wonka, the weird genius behind a world of chocolate and madness. And yet, even with all those characters, there's always been this feeling that the man himself, Johnny Depp, is even more complex than any of the roles he's played. What if I told you, his real life has been darker, more complicated, and more heartbreaking than any character he's ever created? I'm really glad you're here today, because this is a story worth hearing. And maybe, as we talk about Johnny's struggles, it might even make you think about your own. About how we all have shadows we carry. So settle in. This isn't just about a movie star, it's about what it means to be human. To hurt. To hide. And sometimes, to heal. When most people think about Johnny, they see the fame. The fortune. The movies that raked in hundreds of millions of dollars. The screaming fans at premieres, holding up signs and begging for autographs. He's always had that air of mystery, that rock star charisma, that effortless cool. But if you look closer, if you really look, you notice something else. There's this quiet sadness in his eyes, even when he smiles. This weight on his shoulders that never seems to lift, no matter how much success he has. And maybe that all started long before Hollywood. Maybe it started in his childhood. Not many people know this, but Johnny has opened up about his early life before. He said it himself, growing up was chaotic. Sometimes even violent. His family moved constantly. His parents fought. There were arguments, broken promises, broken furniture, and broken hearts. Can you imagine what that does to a kid? To live in a house where you never know what's coming next. Where love feels unpredictable and fragile. For a lot of people, that kind of trauma doesn't just fade. It becomes part of you. It shapes the way you see yourself. And maybe, it even becomes the shadow you spend your whole life trying to outrun. Johnny's first escape from all that pain was music. Not acting, music. As a teenager, he played in garage bands. He says playing guitar was the one thing that made him feel like he belonged somewhere. Like he could finally breathe. And even now, all these years later, he still travels everywhere with his guitar. When the world feels too heavy, he picks it up and plays. Maybe that's one of his secrets, his way of quieting the noise. But acting found him too, and for a while, it seemed like his ticket out. Out of the chaos. Out of the shadows. But here's the thing about running, the faster you run, the longer your shadow gets. Even as his career skyrocketed, there were signs that something deeper was going on. He chose roles that were strange. Lonely. Sad. Roles that let him hide, even while the whole world was watching. Have you ever noticed that? How his characters always seem to carry some kind of quiet pain. Edward Scissorhands, with his longing to be loved but his fear of hurting people. Jack Sparrow, unpredictable and reckless, yet heartbreakingly alone. Even his most flamboyant characters all seem to have something broken inside them. And maybe that's because he understands what it's like to feel broken. People close to Johnny say he has this habit of disappearing. Just, gone. No one can reach him. No phone calls. No texts. Nothing. He disappears to remote places for weeks at a time. He says it's to reset, to escape the madness of fame. But you have to wonder, is he really running toward peace, or away from pain? And then there are the stories we've all seen in the headlines. The drinking. The drugs. The messy lawsuits. The relationships that end in disaster. Fans have debated for years whether it's just the typical Hollywood lifestyle, or something darker. Something sadder. Here's something psychologists call self-sabotage. It's when you feel like you don't deserve happiness. So you destroy the good things in your life before they can be taken away from you. Sound familiar? When you look at Johnny's history, the broken marriages, the endless legal battles, the career setbacks, it's hard not to see the pattern. But here's what nobody really talks about. People like Johnny, they're often some of the kindest, most generous souls you'll ever meet. Because they know what it feels like to hurt. And so they carry a kind of quiet compassion that you can't fake. That's why his fans still love him. Even after everything, they can see the good in him. The light that somehow still shines through the darkness. And that's what makes Johnny so relatable. Because haven't we all felt that way at some point? Like we're fighting battles no one can see? Like we're hiding parts of ourselves we're afraid to show? So what can we learn from Johnny's story? For one, it's okay to ask for help. Even the strongest people need someone to lean on. Second, you can't run from your pain forever. You have to face it. Heal it. Otherwise, it just keeps growing. And most of all, remember this, everyone is carrying something. So be kind. Always. Here's a little tip if you're curious about spotting someone who's hiding their pain. Watch how they laugh. The ones who hurt the most often laugh the loudest. It's their way of keeping people from looking too closely. We've all worn that mask at some point, haven't we? And here's something lighter. Did you know Johnny plays guitar on almost every movie set? Even between takes. It's his little ritual. His way of staying grounded. Maybe that's something we can all do, find that one thing that brings you back to yourself when the world feels like too much. So now, let me ask you. What do you think Johnny's biggest secret really is? Leave a comment below and let's talk about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed uncovering the truth behind his smile, check out the next video we made about another Hollywood star with just as many secrets as Johnny. You won't believe who it is. Before you go, if this video meant something to you, if it made you see things a little differently, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that little bell so you never miss another deep dive into the stories behind the headlines. Because here's the truth. Everyone has a shadow. Even the brightest stars. So now it's your turn. What secrets are you hiding? Take care of yourself. And I'll see you next time.